Arianna Huffington collapsed in her home office. Her sister found her in a pool of blood with a broken cheekbone. She was rushed to the hospital where the doctors ran the usual medical tests. All the while, she thought she might have a brain tumor. Fortunately, the doctors told her that there was nothing physically wrong with her. She was just exhausted. Have you recently had one of those days or weeks where you just don't feel like you have energy? Everything seems just a little bit harder to do. You're constantly feeling exhausted. And just thinking about work makes you so critical and even cynical. Plus, you've lost all the motivation you had. Even though you feel you're trying very hard, you don't seem to be getting any work done. That may be burnout. In this video, I wanted to give you a more practical guide on how you can get yourself out of these ruts and start being productive again. But what exactly is burnout? Everyone's experience is different. Arianna described her experience of fainting in her home office in a recent episode of the podcast Worklife with Adam Grant. For her, she had just been picked as Time's 100 most influential people. She had successfully launched Huffington Post 2 years ago and was at the height of her career. She was putting in long hours. Although she was involved with projects she highly enjoyed, she was also working herself non-stop to exhaustion. For you, the signs of burnout might be different. You could be feeling cynical at work or having no motivation to start working. Or you might be finding it too hard to concentrate, or even having frequent headaches and migraines. Usually burnout is the result of chronic workplace stress, according to the World Health Organization. Bottom line, you may feel it's harder than ever to keep the right balance between work and personal life. How can you fight burnout? When you're suffering with burnout, the last thing you need is another long list of suggestions and things to do to fight through it. Instead, Arianna Huffington suggests some simple steps that helped her in her journey to regain balance and fight her burnout that you can also use. It all comes down to setting boundaries between work and your personal life so that you can take time to unplug and recharge. First of all, you should make sure you get enough sleep. For example, Arianna says that she gets 8 hours of sleep to make sure she's recharged. But if you are like most people, you likely sleep with your smartphone in your room. Eventually, you probably end up being distracted by a late-night email or message, or even just browsing social media endlessly. Therefore, to remove this distraction from her life, she now takes her phone outside the bedroom, shuts it off, and keeps it on a desk outside. This is part of her evening routine. You can also use the power of small changes to your routines in order to improve your habits. For example, Arianna says that she's more intentional about her beginning of day and end of day routines. Think about the last hour before you go to sleep. We all have existing routines that we usually follow in the evening before bed. She says that you should start by making very small adjustments to this existing routine. The goal is not to introduce a whole big new routine that you will never follow. Rather, change one thing that will only take 1 minute or 5 minutes to do at first. One change could be to close your smartphone and leave it outside the bedroom 30 minutes before you want to go to sleep. This is something you can do consistently, a micro routine. You can build on this routine for your wind down gradually. For example, you could consider having a warm shower, dimming the lights, lowering the room temperature, wearing comfortable sleep clothes, and maybe reading a few pages of a fiction book or something that is unrelated to work. The goal is to slowly wind down and get to a place where you're sleeping without distractions, your phone, and that your mind is not thinking or dreaming about work so that you can recharge. How you start your day is also an important part of your well-being. According to research, 70% of Americans sleep with their smartphone by their bedside. And what do they do as soon as they wake up? Grab the phone to read incoming text messages or their emails. If something unexpected comes in overnight, they start their day with a huge dose of cortisol, a stress hormone. It's all downhill from there. The biggest change you can make to the beginning of your day, according to Arianna, is to never rush to your phone as the first thing you do. Take a few minutes to wake up and maybe set your intention for the day before you go to your phone, which holds everybody else's agenda for you. So there you have it. If you're suffering from burnout, feeling exhausted all the time and unmotivated at work, it doesn't have to be this way. You can take some small steps like setting clear boundaries with work and getting a full 8 hours of sleep to better recharge overnight. By taking care of yourself first, by learning to put on your own oxygen mask first before helping others, as they say in airplanes, you will be a much better employee, entrepreneur, or business person. You can be more creative, more empathetic, and even more fun to be around. If you liked this video, hit the like button below and subscribe to the channel to receive more great content on workflows of exceptional performers. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.